me, like, my number one fear is that meme of that guy digging and he's nearly at the gold and then he stops just before he taps it in. For me, that plays non-stop in my mind. Like, I can't stop because I'm literally about to touch the gold, you know?
From Kona Juta and Dipia, Imam Msindi Swesi, Umvelisen Rangomelis Wesiwe, formerly known as Wazi Madonsel, bringing you a show about creative entrepreneurs live from the landmark that not only birth SA street culture, but also formalize the street hustle.
Kona Juta and Dipia special edition, Msindi Swesi, Umvelisen Rango, thank God for the savings, we and Today I'm with the legend, musician, culture shifter, influencer, aka tastemaker, Hans Zimmer of Bacardi, Spura Maluda, Don Dewey. How you doing? Oh, aka Doowap.
Facts, bro. That's the best intro ever.
I told you I have a special one for Bacardi.
When you slid in the Hans Zimmer, it's like you know me personally.
Come on.
Yeah. No, I'm a huge fan of Hans.
I think the one thing most people don't know, besides you being able to dance, perform, look great, direct, set the whole vibe, is that you actually studied. How do you go from studying sound engineering to saying, actually, I studied that, but my passion is this?
So I was studying sound engineering and then I did like a DJ course, just Nyana on the side, because I just needed to make some coins, because my parents were like, we're gonna pay for the studies, but not for like your lifestyle. So I decided, let me do some DJing on the side. And then first gig, bro, straight out the gate, YFM picked me up. It was like a gig in Marvel and Roxy's. And they were like, yo, we love what you were doing last night. You want a show? And I was like, what? They're like, come in today, let's prajis. And it just happened like that. And then also, whilst I was studying, like, I've always been homies with Ricky, Deleuze, all those guys growing up. And Ricky was like, when I'm ready, like, let's do this thing together. Like, I'm gonna rap, you're gonna DJ. I'm like, bro, I just started this DJing thing. I don't even know if it's a serious thing. He's like, it's a serious thing, and we have to activate it. So yeah, he was also another reason to like push in that direction. I don't know if I must look at you or here or...
Anyway, it's fine. Okay. So, you're South African. Well, you're everywhere. You're a global citizen.
Yes.
How does studying in Montreal then convert to you going to the UK? How did that impact your understanding of the world and everything you do?
So already the first flight I ever took was at 6 years old to go visit my grandparents in the UK. So that's when I knew, like, wow, flying above in the clouds, like, that's a serious thing. And I took it all by myself, and I think that's when the travel bug got me. So any opportunity to get out of South Africa was like my thing. And then I studied in Montreal, like you said, for diving. And then I had an opportunity to go to the UK to dive again. So kind of diving took me around the world. Like, I was clever in school, but I think I was more a sports girl. So sports was a way for me not to always have to be in class. So I was like, let me tap into that and I'll be able to travel and I don't need to be in the books all the time. So yeah, that's how I got to the UK. And then the UK is like where I got the love for music, for bass, underground scene. And then the diving kind of fell off, and then next thing I'm studying sound engineering and I just want to do music.
So here's my question.
Yes.
The dream is to be an Olympian.
It was, bro.
And then you don't connect as an Olympian.
Yeah.
A lot of us, when we face those life goals and catch that L, we don't know how to move. How did you pick yourself up and say, yo, there's more to me. There's more Doowap to give?
So I think once you master one craft, you can master anything. You know the 10,000 hour thing? Like, I truly believe in it, and I definitely did over 10,000 hours with diving. So as soon as I transitioned to music, I knew I'd be good at it. And I'm pretty much good at anything I put my mind to, as long as I put like the discipline behind it. And it's like a discipline I cultivated with the diving. So it didn't feel like a loss. I felt ready to make the switch from diving to like music. It kind of felt like a natural transition. Obviously for my parents, it was a shock, because they're like, we put our whole lives into your diving. All you ever spoke about was going to the Olympics. Now you suddenly want to be a freaking sound engineer, a Hans Zimmer vibe. So they were shook, but I think for me it felt normal and I felt like I was ready for it. It's one of those things like where you know what your journey is and no one else will understand it, and you just have to like forge through, you know?
You forge through it, you become part of this greater collective, the Boys and Bucks. You're part of the hip hop scene at that time and the shift, right? A lot of people witnessed the shift, you were part of it. How does it feel to grow out of a collective? Because you found your own voice within the collective.
I think I was low-key forced to find my own voice because I got invited to do this 1-month tour in Germany, right? And it was like 18 shows, so it was a beautiful experience, and it was something that I knew I needed to do, but at the time I was DJing for Ricky and Kuket, and like things were popping off. And I was like, am I going to go to Europe or am I going to carry on with the brews? So I just spoke to Ricky, and Ricky was like, bro, you need to go and be Doowap. Like, you can't carry on being Ricky's DJ. And I was like, no, bro, don't let me go. Like, I want to carry on DJ for you, you know, like, I wanted to carry on with that wave. And he was like, nah, you need to figure out like your own voice in this. So low-key, I was kind of pressed to do it, but I'm glad I did because like I needed to find myself and like who I am in the scene, you know? And I think like a lot of the time the brews were always like, the queen, you know, like she's our queen. And like, I was like, I don't know, I'm more like a princess, you know? Like I'm just a girl type of vibe. So I think I needed to step out so I can really carve like, okay, I'm royal, I got a kingdom, you know, that type of vibe.
You grow. The thing attaches.
The what?
The thing attaches. Now the world knows Doowap because I'm in PE, I'm like, oh, who's this colorful hair lady?
Oh, that's cool.
She's dancing, she's doing a thing, you're wearing the skirts, like it's colorful, you see it, has its own vibe, its own energy, right? But that all came from your granny's salon, where you come in with the colors. How does it feel to be inspired by the world and eventually the world being inspired by you?
I think it's always a lonely place, like when you're a pioneer, because sometimes you feel crazy, people around you make you feel like you're weird, but then next thing those people around you are doing that thing, you know? So it's always a weird space, so it took me very long to understand it, but I love it now. Like, I love getting the looks, I love getting the confusion. If you understand, I'm not doing it right, you know what I mean? Like most times it needs to be like, that's confusing, then I'm like, vibe, you know? Like, people like Jamal inspire me, you know Jamal, like, yeah, Bubblegum Club, like, I love what they do because it's so edgy and it's so like, this is so weird. So as soon as you think it's weird, like it's a vibe, you know? As soon as you're confused, that's a vibe. And that's always like the vibe I'm trying to go for is like, I must never be predictable, you know? It must always be inspiring. It must always be confusing.
You're not predictable. I think the biggest shift for all of us who are like into Doowap and everything that you do was like, wait, 3 stripes. What was that shift like?
That shift was necessary. As soon as I made that shift, so many things fell into place. Like, I think I was in a very stuck place where nothing was inspiring me. I wasn't inspiring myself. Like, messages were not coming. Like, for me, I get inspired a lot by like my ancestors, like the godly messages, tapping into my inner voice. But like everything was silent and it was like super scary. And I knew I needed like a dramatic shift. So I stopped smoking, I stopped drinking, I started meditating a lot more. I needed to tap in. And then I realized like I need serious changes. And a big change is like also maybe shifting the brands I work with so that like there's a different voice, there's a different energy behind what I'm doing. So yeah, as soon as I made that shift, you know, the Maybelline bag came, the sync deals came, the music is doing well, like I'm super inspired, the Pansula culture's coming. Yeah, I think it was a necessary switch. Like the Swoosh family, it's always gonna be mad love to the gang. And I think like we left on a respectable note. Like they loved what I contributed, I loved how much they supported me, and they're like, you know what, go and flourish.
Everyone talks about support, but no one ever breaks it down. Because I was like, Doowap is always traveling. Then someone said, no, there was a sports team partnership. I was like, how's sports team involved? They were like, no, there's a Swoosh partnership. Yeah. How do you get to a point where you can justify your travels to brands? Because a lot of us think, when we think brands, we think we need to be paid direct. Facts. No one ever thinks, no, they can support you in other ways globally to expand your ideas.
Exactly. A lot of the time for like maybe 6-7 years, I was paying for my own flights. I would pay for my flight knowing like, okay, it's winter here, June to September or June till August. So let me book my flight June till August and just pray that something happens. So I'd book my flights and then I'd just tap into all the nightclubs, all the festivals, all the brands, all the people overseas, and just be like, yo, I'm coming, I've got a bunch of bookings. If you want to tap in, like, here's my details, here's a new mix, here's my latest press images. So like just trying to manifest it and believe in it and reach out to homies and stay at their crib. But I would always invest in myself with the flights. And then through that, I would grow the European network, the US network. So it was a lot of like self-investing for long before brands could hop on. And then it's like, okay, cool. This is what I've been doing. You know, here are the pictures of me at Afropunk in New York. Here's the pictures of me rocking Paris Fashion Week for the last 6 years. Okay, do you mind like us doing a fashion film and maybe getting partners from Sports Scene, and they can also maybe give some coins for a flight and a stylist to come help out. And then, you know, and then they're like, okay, she's been doing it. It's not like a random thing. She can pull this off. Let's contact the Swoosh fam because, you know, that makes sense. And then we can make it happen. So yeah, that's kind of how it's been happening. But a lot of the time, it's a bunch of proposals, a bunch of knocking on the door. Like, proposals take hours because you're trying to, like, you see the vision, but now you need to put it down for the client to see it. They most times have a corporate mind, you know? So for me, it's like, you're trying to do that every day, knock on doors, like 10 doors for one to open. It's tiring, but it's definitely part of the game.
That's the most exhausting thing. Like, someone be like, yo, send me a proposal. I'm like, do you understand how long it takes to just cater it for you?
Exactly. Then I send you the proposal and you're like, nah. And it's like,
and they ghost you.
what?
Besides the nah, the ghost.
The ghost is worse. But it's like, I'm going to press you. You're not going to ghost me. Like, you will say no. If you're going to say no, say it with your chest. You're not going to ignore me because you made me put this work in, you know? So, yeah.
You put the work in, but what goes into a proposal? Let's say I'm popping off TikTok right now. How do I actually tell the story? I'm an artist, I want to go further.
Yo, I literally just did a proposal this morning. Bro, I think like proposal is like, think about the overarching idea. The main thing they always want to know is what's my return on investment? So it's like thinking about that. Then obviously finding images that are going to fit this vision that like, because you can see it in your mind, but you need reference images for them to see it, you know? And then it's just about breaking down why you're valuable. What have you done in the past? How are you going to pull this off? Who are you going to collaborate with to bring it to life? I think sometimes I missed out on that. It's like bringing your community in that also have the skills, and like these people are going to come on board and we're going to really make this flourish. Then obviously you bringing in like the social media element of how I'm going to push it, how the reach is going to be. And then the last thing is budget. Like, what's this budget cut down? Like, you're asking me for 250K. Where's this 250 going? You're like, the stylist, the makeup artist. Most times you're never even asking for enough. Like, most times you think it's 250, that thing comes to 400, you know? So the budget breakdown is, I think, where the client really needs to see where the coins are going.
The client sees where the coins are going. How do you then start charge on an international scale? Because there's this thing where piano artists are like, going overseas is not worthwhile because we're not getting paid more than here in South Africa. In fact, they're paying us less.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, low-key, I feel like I get paid more overseas because like the exchange rate just naturally makes it like that. And also, but then obviously if you haven't been in that scene and you're just touching and you want the exposure of overseas, then you have to go for the exposure rates because there's so many people out there that are kind of doing the Amapiano vibe. What were you asking me about?
How do you get paid more overseas?
How do you get paid more? Bro, it's about putting your foot down and showing your value. For me, it's like, you guys are pushing the Amapiano scene. You've got Amapiano festivals. Where's your authenticity? It's about calling them out. And then they have no choice but to pay you now. Because it's like, okay, cool, you're throwing an Amapiano party and the whole lineup is European people. No one's from South Africa. At least the South African person who's paying their flight to be there, pay me my real rate that's going to cover the cost of my flights and my accommodation and more, you know? But something that one of the DJs was saying was like, we don't know how to monetize on our ideas and things. Like, why are there no Amapiano festivals here? Like, there's Afro Nation and all of that. And then when we do go there and DJ, yes, we get a dope rate, but then we in and out, and then so what? Like, so what's the rate? Why don't we do our own pop-ups? Why don't we do like our own pop-ups at every festival? Why don't we create merchandise? Like, yes, some DJs now have started bringing their own merchandise, but like, how do we really make money from the events that are happening overseas? Like, if we're not gonna do our own festivals here, how are we gonna plug in there where we're making real money? Not just your gig money, but like where you're seeing proper money coming back home, you know?
Have you dealt with those seasons where you do the merch and it's not moving at the rate you want? You do the overseas shows and the invoice is not clearing at the time you need it to clear. How have you kept yourself up? Also, because being in the game for over 10 years, it's not child's play. I think I've been commercially doing what I do for almost 3 years now, and I'm tired. So I can imagine.
I feel you. No, I also get tired, but at the end of the day, every single industry you work in is tough. Any job you're gonna do is tough, but if you're doing what you love, like, you will get up, you will wake up again and do it again. And like, I'm just that passionate about it that at the end of the day, I've been doing it for so long, reinventing myself for so long, that I know there's always a tipping point where it will make sense. And yes, you work on, your currency is faith. And it's just like, God, you see my vision, like, come on, please. And for me, like, my number one fear is that meme of that guy digging and he's nearly at the gold and then he stops just before he taps it in. For me, that plays nonstop in my mind. Like, I can't stop because I'm literally about to touch the gold, you know? And then also CJ Mnandi said to me the other day, he was like, bro, you know how hard the devil works? Like, everyone, you can learn something from everyone, right? You can even learn from the devil. And I was like, whoa, that's a bit much. Like, I don't want to learn anything from that guy. Yeah. And he was like, no, honestly, like, think about how he doesn't stop. He's consistent. He's consistent with trying to bring you down. He's consistent. Like, he doesn't sleep, you know? So if you're trying to sleep, you thinking, I don't want to wake up today, I don't want to do, the devil is there and he's ready to press you. So you just got to, like, learn discipline and, like, tenacity from the devil. Like, so that's another thing. Now when I feel lazy or I feel like I want to sleep, I'm like, the devil's not going to be sleeping right now. So I need to work harder than him so he doesn't catch up, you know?
So you're outworking the devil.
I need to outwork the devil, bro.
The pioneers never get their flowers, and 9 out of 10 times never get their money. How do you think you're going to break that ceiling? Because we've seen the many Doowaps come and go.
Bro.
We've seen the lookalikes come and go.
The amount of waves I've created and people rode that to the top, and it's like, it's my own bad. Like, why didn't I learn how to monetize my ideas? And I think it's because in the beginning, I didn't realize how important my intellectual property was. I didn't know the currency of my ideas because they come so naturally. Like, I get ideas every day. And I didn't realize that that's something that you can monetize, that you can turn into a business that is like, that can set you up for life. So ride that wave, you know. Pico from Red Bull would always say to me, like, you know, he was also, or he is in Boys and Bucks. And he would be like, Doowap, stop creating a wave and jumping off. Like, ride that wave, bro. And I'd be like, but I'm bored. You know, like, I've done this. Like, I want to go to the next thing. And he's like, yeah, but that's to your own detriment because you're not actually seeing how far the wave can take you. And I'm like, damn. So now I'm going to ride this one. Like, I'm going to ride the Bacardi Babe wave. I'm going to ride the Pansula wave. And let's go where it goes because it's like, it's fulfilling. It feels good. And I know that there's a lot of energy behind it. So, yeah, being a pioneer is dope, but also learn how to monetize your ideas.
How does IP work when I'm just a kid with brilliant ideas, keep putting them out in the world? The brands will take my lingo, the brands will take my look and feel. My peers become me. How do you then still retain it? Because you've been in the game long enough to see that there's ways to retain this.
No, there's definitely ways. I mean, like, if you're going to corporates, you know, there's the NDNA. What? NDA. There's the NDA, getting them to sign it. Like, yes, if you go to court, you probably will never beat that brand. But you saying, please sign this NDA before I even open my mouth, shows that you respect yourself, you respect your ideas, that you're not willing to just share and jay and they can't take you for apple pie. That's step number one. Step number two is like, okay, great, I hear what you guys would like to do. Can you please put what you want to do in writing? Then I'll respond to you in writing. From the beginning, before I come and I even open my mind for you and I start like, because in the beginning I'd just be like, oh, that sounds like a dope idea. Why don't you Then they're like, sharp, danko. I'm out of the picture. They execute that thing, millions of pounds, dollars. And I'm like, how? But that was my whole idea. That's my bad again. You know, it's like, no, put that thing in writing. And like the whole time, just remind them like, that's you. Okay, cool. No, I'll come up with that creativity or like that idea. Please pay me for that. Okay, cool. Oh, you want me to execute it? Okay, sharp, this is my rate to execute it. So every step, you're making sure that you get paid all the way till the product is complete. Oh, you want me in it even? Sharp. Here's my fee as a model. Oh, you want some creative content? Here's my fee for social media marketing. And then it just starts adding up. Literally just started learning that.
That's crazy. I think those were the first tickers. I remember Lazi used to say to me, you don't want to be the guy who knows too much and does too little. Yeah. You know, because sometimes you be around so much and you be like, yo, I know 1, 2, 3, I know this person, I know that person, until you have to go pitch to them. And now it's like you don't know these steps. You don't know the separate fees for things.
Yes, there are separate fees for things. Even just consulting. Like you don't want me involved, but you want to hear my ideas. Okay, sharp, here's a consultant fee for me to even think about your idea. This is my fee, you know? But no, it's tricky because also the thing is like, bro, there's not a lot of people with good hearts out here. Like sometimes you're like, but like we had such a genuine conversation. Like he seemed like such a nice person. Like how is he gonna do that to me, you know? And it's like, no, most of these people are sharks and snakes in the grass. Like there's not really a lot of friends in the game. Hence why my circle is always tiny, because I just get burnt every time and I'm just like so shook. I never stop being shook. And how many people can stab me in the back? It's wild.
Speaking of investing in yourself and understanding things, now you're putting money into music videos. How's that affecting you? Because to us, like, oh, great 5 minutes, shout out. To you, it's concept, team, budget, expansion, amplification, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sync deals, brands.
Yeah. Sure, dude. I'm such a visual person, but it breaks my heart how expensive it is. And I get it. Like to hire out equipment is expensive. For someone to spend hours to edit, it takes time. If I'm gonna charge a premium rate for my DJ fee, like I get why you have to do that to be editing my video. So like also my mind won't let me, or my creativity won't let me do something low budget. It needs to be, for anything I'm doing needs to be timeless. It needs to be able to live when I'm gone. And like, because of that, I put so much energy and passion into it. But now I've definitely tapped into asking my community for help. I used to try to be like superwoman, rock that thing, break the bank, have absolutely no coin, be depressed. But then you can't even enjoy what you've made because you're so sad, you know? So now I've started asking for help, like, yo, can you please help me with the styling? This is honestly all I have. You know, before it might have been the ego where I'm like, ish, I can't tell the brew that the coins are not dialing like that, you know? Now it's like, he gets it. He wants to help, or she wants to help. So there's a lot of people actually waiting for your call, you know? And they're waiting to collaborate with you. So I think more than ever, I've tapped into my community. And I think the Pantsula dance has really like shined a light on that. Like, girl, we're here for you. You know, like whatever you need, we're here for you. So that's a beautiful thing.
12 years with the Swoosh, 3 chefs calls. What changes? Because I think that's the bigger question for everyone. It's like you left this thing that we were like, yo, this is your thing, and now you've entered a new chapter for your life.
Yes.
With all this knowledge that you have now, how have you structured your deals different now?
Oh, for sure. I think the one thing that's super good about me is my loyalty. And I think that's why brands, you know, always want to work with me. And I'm super picky about the brands because it's like, I need to rock that thing like I believe it. I'm not going to tap into something that like I won't genuinely wear just for the coins. No, I won't. So, you know, being with that brand for 12 years, that shows my loyalty. The other sportswear brands, knocked on the doors lots of times, but I'm just like, nah, I'm loyal. But sometimes you can be loyal to a fault where you actually don't take your value seriously, and you're like, I'm loyal, but you're forgetting that it needs to come both ways, you know? So I think because I got like wiser in the game, I was like, you know what, let me negotiate this deal properly where I can see coins every month. There can be some commitment where it's like, you're gonna commit to some gigs overseas, you're gonna commit to investing in my projects like Doubles and Bubbles, you're gonna invest in like, you know, how much mpahlas are you giving me seeding wise? Like, can we have a set amount? So it's not like, hey, please, Nyatela, I've got a music video, just 3 sneakers. No, I know.
And something for the team.
You know, something for the team, a young tee, a young tracksuit. Now it's like, I know what I'm getting every month. I know how much I can ask for. Sometimes I'll obviously try push it because there's always things happening. But at least there's some type of commitment where they're like, let's invest in your craft because if you grow, we grow, you know? And I think that's where I'm at with my brand deals now.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
And our most important question is, what's your word to the youth?
What's my word to the youth? I have lots of words to the youth,
Share
bro.
them all.
So first is, you know, when like everything just goes. So I just want to say consistency is key. Firstly, like you need to be consistent with what you're doing, but also no one sees the world how you see the world. So believe in that vision. Like you do have something to contribute, and if it hasn't been done before, even better, invest in that thing. Also, call on your community. The community is waiting to answer your call, and they're waiting to help build. Also, it's okay to unplug from the matrix for a little bit. Unplug from online, unplug from social media. Take time for yourself. You don't always need to be dropping all the time. Like, there's sometimes pressure on social media where you feel like you consistently have to be like churning things out. And the machine makes you feel like you have to consistently churn out. But sometimes you end up watering yourself down if you do that. And I think it's important to sit in the silence, unplug, hear what your inner voice is saying, so that when you tap in, there's real like authenticity, there's real source, there's nyama to your idea, it's super colored in because like you gave time for the vision to build, you know?
Hanzima Wapakari. DJ Doowap.
Yeah, bro, that's
Dan
me.
Doozy.
Oh, wait.
This was a
The
special
Bacardi
edition.
Babe.
Bacardi Babe.
Special edition for sure.
Thank
Thank
you so
you for
much.
having me, bro.
Appreciate it.
Keep doing what you're doing. Shine a light on these visionaries. I love it.
Shout out.